Wow. I'd like to start off first by thanking Mrs. King, all the Plano West staff, administration, mom and dad, my big sis, Kimberly, and most of all, you guys, the class of 2015, for such a fantastic 4 years. Congrats, guys. We've almost made it. Now, what an honor it is to be speaking today in front of possibly the largest, but definitely the greatest high school graduating class in the nation. And as your valedictorian, I feel great about us blazing new ground, breaking barriers, and me clearly disproving racial stereotypes. Now, over the past 13 years, Plano ISD has done a pretty good job at teaching us in the classroom. We've learned how to do a lot of things. How to take the integral of x squared, for example, or determine the chemical formula of table salt. And in case you're wondering, that's 1/3 x cubed and NaCl. But much of this knowledge we will continue to use for the rest of our lives. But beyond that, Plano ISD has also taught us things you can't learn just in a classroom. Clubs taught us passion. The fine arts taught us creativity. And field day taught us to crush our enemies. No. Now, all of that is just as important. But now, we're leaving the classroom, we're leaving the playground, and some things we're going to have to learn ourselves. It's not going to be easy. Learning and growing is a process, often a long process, and often a difficult process. There are times we'll fall down, and there are times we'll make sacrifices that might not always pay off. But as Aristotle once noted, the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Indeed, an education as good as ours creates fruits sweeter than we could ever imagine. 100 years ago, no one could imagine the man on the moon. Now, look at Neil Armstrong. No one could imagine an African American as president. And now, look at Barack Obama. No one could imagine the coexistence of beauty and brains. And look at me. And if that doesn't inspire you, well, just think. You have just as many hours in a day as my #1 queen, Beyonce. In all seriousness, though, the truth is I'm also scared. Scared of leaving the friends I've grown up with since 1st grade. Shout out to the best elementary school out there, Barksdale. Yeah. Scared of letting go of the hand of mom and dad. Scared of not living up to people's expectations, and most of all, I'm scared of the future. But what I have to keep in mind, and what we all have to keep in mind, is that we're still so young. We're still allowed to make mistakes. We're still allowed to change our minds, and we're still allowed to be scared. And as long as we have our feet beneath us, our dreams above us, and our loved ones behind us, I promise you, our best days will remain ahead of us. And understanding this, too, is a part of our education. So, class of 2015, know this. Today, the education of a childhood may be ending, but the education of a lifetime is just beginning. And because no valedictorian speech is complete without a super cliche Dr. Seuss quote, don't cry because it's over, smile because it happened. Class of 2015, congratulations, and let's whip it to next year.